Well, good evening to Health and Wellness Wednesday. I hope that you are doing well. Tonight is the Ask Dr. Jenny show, and I'm so glad that you're taking time to come and join us this evening. We're going to be talking to Dr. Jenny here very shortly. And tonight, we're going to be talking about how to prevent chronic illness, something that I think that we could all learn from, things that we can take preventative measures to be able to prevent coming down with chronic disease. And then I have some questions to find out if, in fact, we might have that or we know someone that has that, a chronic disease, that we can have some answers for them to try and get them healthy. And am looking forward to bringing Dr. Jenny in. Dr. Jenny is our director of the medical board for the LWN Foundation, and we are proud to present the third episode of Health and Wellness Wednesday, Ask Dr. Jenny. And she is actually the top naturopath voted by the international top profession. Oh my goodness. I think I might have not put on the notifications to stop making noise. Sorry about that, folks. So she's been voted top naturopath of the year 2019 in by the International Association of Top Professionals, and she specializes actually in endocannabinoid as well as stem cell research. And we are looking forward to having her here with us this evening. I am waiting for her to join in. I know that she's a very busy person and sometimes it's difficult for her to be right on time. Maybe she ran behind with a patient or something to this effect, but we will be with her in, I believe, just a few moments. Um, okay, so I want to ask you, if you will, please share this video out. We hope to touch a lot of people tonight. This is a great show. We're going to be having this show every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is an opportunity to learn about health, about the things that we can do to be able to get as healthy as we possibly can, and then be able to have and enjoy a wonderful life. Let me just tell you a little bit about Dr. Jenny so you can get more familiar with her. She's a clinical research associate and the chief executive officer of AgeVital. That is a health and wellness as well as a pharmacy center right here in Sarasota, Florida, right down on Main Street. And as I mentioned, top naturopathic doctor of the year. How awesome is that? So, boy, I tell you, if the top professionals think she is important, boy, I know I do. And as a result, I'm just so blessed that she is with us, that she's able to share her wisdom with us. I also want to mention, if you have some questions related to tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about chronic disease in just a few moments here. And get ready, write down some questions, put them in the comments. We'll go ahead and address those as we move forward in the broadcast. Um, so she has this health and wellness center right downtown here. She does actually, she's a chemist too, so she compounds all of the products that are available in her store. And we also have them, several of them, online in our website store, as well as she's got a complete host of products as well. We're looking to collaborate those and make sure that we have all the products that you might need to be able to take to get as healthy as you possibly can. And I just tell you, without further ado, I'm going to bring the star of the show, Dr. Jenny, and she's going to help us this evening. Remember to share this video out. We want your friends in the groups that you belong to hear this message as well. And so let me bring in Dr. Jenny. Welcome, Dr. Jenny.
Happy Hump Day.
Yes, exactly. Health and Wellness Wednesday. That's what it
Yes,
is.
love health and wellness.
And this
With
is
my
Health and Wellness
good
Wednesday
buddy
with Dr. Jenny.
Steven.
And so we're so glad that were able to join us this evening. How are you doing today, Dr.
Oh, you
Jenny?
know me,
Oh,
international
we just
female of
lost audio.
mystery. Can you hear me?
I just lost your audio, though.
Oh no.
I'm not sure what happened there. So we've
No.
lost audio for half a moment. Um, I'm not sure what to say.
Can you
We
hear me
had your
now?
audio a moment ago. Oh, I turned mine off. I meant to turn mine down.
Uh-huh.
That's why. We got audio. Oh, interesting.
Got it?
Are you playing with that?
No?
No? It's doing it all on its own, is it? That's so
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, wonderful.
You know, my technicians used to tell me that. They tell me I'm so electric
You
that
mean it's
they really do. And if I have any of them watching, they'll tell you. They're like, Dr. Jenny, you can't be by our computers because every time you walk by, they do this little weird chemical thing, and I'm like, what? Electrical thing.
yes.
I don't know if that is that a bad thing. If I touch,
No.
you're charged. You know?
I don't think that that's a bad thing. I've kind of experienced similar things sometimes. It just depends. I mean, the energy is so high, and this electrical stuff, it can't take this energy that we have, I suppose,
Right?
sometimes.
That's what the law of attraction. That's why you and I are attracted to one another.
There we
And guess what
go.
I
And
have?
what do you have today?
You got me a gift.
Aha!
Ah,
Sweet.
I'm gonna put those in because I'm such a nerd. I'm such a bookworm. And then Steven got me these earphones. I was like, earphones for a podcast? He's like, yeah, you have to wear them. He's so much cooler than me.
They'll help with the audio thing. I don't know. Sometimes there's audio issues, other times there's not. But when you plug them in, you're going to probably have a screen that pops up and it's going to say headphones and click OK. And then they've got a microphone and it'll eliminate any potential feedback, which we've experienced in the past. And so those should go well because you have the iPhone, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Oh boy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, and your voice has changed with that microphone. That's very good. I like it. Thank you, everybody. Now, remember, folks, we want you to share this video out. We are going to get into some serious discussion here this evening about chronic disease and about how to prevent chronic disease. And so if, you know, you might be suffering right now. And so we're going to talk about the things that you can do. We're also going to be talking about the things that you can do to prevent it. And of course, that would be a great idea, too, is just not come down with something. So that's great. They look good on you too. I like that white. That's very cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
My
Awesome.
hair's a little bit frizzy, but
Okay. I love the viewers. We appreciate you. I think what I'd like to do is go right off the bat. Let's just go say, put a couple of these comments up. Gail Westfall is here with us. She says hi.
Hi, Gail. How are you? And I see the comments here on the right.
And you can see the comments. Christina Scullen is with us. We appreciate you. Ruben Lowing. Yes, it is a great topic, Ruben. We're going to be talking about that. I love Ruben. He is definitely a patriot and a war hero and veteran. We appreciate you for joining us. We also have Shirley Connolly from up in Ontario, Canada. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I understand she's saying she has to leave maybe a little bit early, but we appreciate you dropping in and saying hello.
Thank you for tuning in. Talk about all about prevention today, right?
We are. We are. As a matter of fact, I see our guest from Friday. You might know of him. He just messaged me. Everybody, you do want to join that. On Friday, we're going to have Edgar Hansen. He is TV reality star with Deadliest Catch, and we're going to talk about the things that he's doing, making a major, a positive impact in society. And so I just saw a message from him. So he's all there. We're here tonight, but we're talking about health tonight. That's what we're talking about, and that's making a positive impact in our communities as well. So, all right, Dr. Jenny. I want to ask you first about now. Florida is probably one of the first few states that have actually opened some things up. The boat ramps are open. I notice everybody has a boat out there. I don't blame them. If I still had one, I'd be out there with them. The restaurants are open for capacity of 25% of their seating. Now, how do you feel about that? Do you think that this is a good idea? Are we getting a little bit cart ahead of the horse here, or what you thinking with that?
No, I think if you're able to work and if you have a good, strong immune system, I think you should get out there and work. It's the people, again, that are at risk are the ones that are unhealthy, the ones that already have an underlying condition, you know, and then when they get a viral infection, I mean, it would be the same if they got the flu. If someone has obesity, someone has diabetes, if someone has an autoimmune disorder and they get viral overload, they get sick. It's not the virus that kills them. It's just the straw that breaks the camel's back, right? So we're here today to empower people. How do you boost your immune system? How do you prevent these debilitating diseases that are plaguing Americans, right?
Exactly. That's
So, I
what we're
mean,
talking about tonight for sure.
yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
that's on everybody's mind. People were concerned about getting sick. And
mhm.
so this is going to be a great way to make sure that you do the things that you can to be able to prevent that. And I think we're going to talk maybe about once you've been diagnosed, if perhaps, God forbid that you do come down with some kind of disease, the things that you can do
Mhm.
to help yourself and get as healthy and boost that immune system.
Right.
Um, so why don't we start by, why don't you define for us chronic illness and tell our viewers what is the definition then of chronic illness?
Well, chronic illness is something that inhibits you from living your life. So when someone is chronically ill, it can be chronically ill due to cancer, due to an autoimmune disorder, due to hormonal abnormalities. It's something that inhibits them from being the best versions of themselves, right?
Yes.
Every day I get customers. I mean, I have adorable customers from Longo Key that are yearly snowbirds. And I'm just thinking of this one couple that they would come in and they were so cute. And they would come in with their canes and they had all this money. And the way they described it to me, they're like, you know what? We're going to put our health in your hands. Dr. Jenny, they're like, when we heard you speak at one of the symposiums, you said, am I living or are you just existing? There's a lot of people that are not living and thriving, right? And they said, what good is our money? What good is our millions if
Mhm.
we can't enjoy it? If they can't play golf, if they can't go out for walks on the beach and enjoy sunsets because there's so much pain, their legs, they have osteoporosis, they have rheumatoid arthritis, they have fibromyalgia. So what good is money if you can't enjoy it, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So
It
if
is
you're
all
stuck
about,
in your bed with a nurse, a 24-hour nurse aide, changing your diaper,
yeah.
changing your catheter,
Yes.
change, helping you walk,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yes.
these are things that a lot of people, young people I see, take for granted. They think that they're not going to get old. And you will. People will age ungracefully if they don't nip it in the butt right now.
Hmm. Now,
So,
what came to mind right then and there is just that, we come into this world as babies and then we grow up and we become adults, and it seems like at the end we turn back more like kids and babies again because we need to be taken care of at that point. And I'm witnessing this actually firsthand with a close friend of mine who's taking care of her friend, who's in end stage brain cancer, and it's a difficult thing to observe. It is, and so clearly she's got a chronic illness, and that's brain cancer. Um, and so I just want to commend my
oh,
friend for taking care of her, and stepping up, because we do want somebody to try and give us some kind of quality of life, particularly at the end times, right? Um,
yeah.
I know that this gal came out of hospice to come home with my friend, so that she had a friend there, and she got better immediately. I mean, she picked up a lot, but the brain cancer is having its way, and it's sad but true, and keep her in your prayers. And I won't mention
Yes.
names, but it is end stage now. I mean, she's not eating at this point, so it's just a matter of time. Um,
Well, if she's breathing, there's still hope. And that's what I tell people.
she's
Even if
not eating.
if she's breathing,
Oh,
I said there's
breathing.
still hope, right?
Yes.
Even 5% improvement, 10% improvement is better than where she's at currently. So
Yes.
it's baby steps and it's setting realistic standards. I have seen people with stage 4 breast cancer. I've seen people with tumors, brain tumors as well, including one of my sisters. I have seen people with prostate cancer, kidney cancer, liver, you name it, Stephen. I
Mm.
have seen them make a complete U-turn in their health where they stopped the chemo, they stopped the radiation, and they started bombarding their body with biochemicals that are natural to the body that boost immune function, with chemicals like vitamin C, nutrients that help your cell thrive, that helps and feed oxygen to your cell, that helps your bones to be stronger, that are cellularly enhancing neurologically, and of course the red blood cells and the white blood cells as well. So if she's got a brain tumor, I mean, I'm not a big subscriber to Doctors Gloom and Doctors Doom saying, well, you got 3 months to live. It's like,
Right.
what kind of message is that? Who are you to tell me I have 3 months to live? You know,
Right.
when I was baby number 2, since she's 10 years old now, so then I had her, you know, I was 29 years old when I had her. And I had a tumor in my right ovary, and then a tumor that was as big as a golf ball.
Oh my goodness.
And my doctor wanted to rip out my lady bits. He's just like, oh my gosh, you have a tumor. If we don't take care of this, we're going to have to, you know, go in there and give you a complete and total hysterectomy. Me, like the 29-year-old, oh my gosh. And at first I was going with that adrenaline, with the fear, Doctors Gloom, Doctors Doom, right? And I said, wait. No, you're not going to rip out of my body what makes me a female. You're not going to rip out. And if I would have listened to that doctor and gone through that surgery and gone through the treatment, I might not have the 2 extra bonus children that I have now, right? I was able to hold the hand of my OBGYN and say, hey, listen, this is what you're going to do. You're going to test my hormones. You're going to test my nutrition. I showed him exactly where on the requisition forms, what to test, and there were laboratory recommendations that he was not used to using. But within a 7-week period, after balancing out my hormones and seeing what I was deficient in, nutrition and hormonally, endocrinally, neurologically, because we did all the neurotransmitters and amino acids as well, my tumor disappeared. But how many women have been in that boat? And I've been able to assist women that were in that boat as well too, 30-year-old women where their cycles are abnormal, right? They have this chronic bleeding, breakthrough bleeding, the periods that last 15, 16 days. And the doctors are so quick to say, okay, well, let's go ahead and give you a hysterectomy. Let's remove your ovaries. Let's remove your uterus. Let's give you this. No, right.
And I know that. I know that on a personal level. My second wife, who's not with us anymore either, she died of cancer. But yeah, she had serious, menstrual cycles. And of course, their answer was, hysterectomy, which throws your whole system out of whack anyways at that point.
You get a hysterectomy, it destroys a woman's everything, her libido. You can count on getting wrinkles. You can count on getting overweight. You can count on dry, brittle hair. You could count on getting osteoporosis. You can count on getting cancers because now you have no hormonal support. Those ovaries, God designed this beautiful body and all of these beautiful equipments. Our lady bits is what I'm calling them, right? And the same thing with men, right? We need this. Just because it's not working properly doesn't mean you have to rip it out. Figure out why it's not working properly and nourish it, right? I've had women in their 60s that haven't had periods in 10 years, and they come and I balance out their hormones, and then they start to menstruate again, and they start losing weight, and their hair starts growing in, and they start acting like young women. They're jumping the bones of their husbands because all of a sudden they're like they feel alive. They're thriving and they're living again, right?
That went with last week. We were talking all about sex, right?
Right, yeah.
But it is about getting healthy so that you can enjoy life. And that's what we were talking about.
And it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding to be healthy. And I mean, if you're living, you have oxidative stress. There's no way around it. And that's why I tell people, whatever your bad habits are, tell me what they are so we could design a protocol around your bad habits. So if you like to have your martinis and you love to indulge or overly indulge, right? Tell me what it is so I can give you a protocol so you know how to be on a constant regenerative protocol, how to constantly be reviving and feeding your cells and taking care of your brain, taking care of your heart, taking care of your lungs, and taking care of your gut. You have those 4 systems. You have to take care of those systems. If they start falling apart, you're going to be like that car that sputters and leaks and all these little warning signs come on the dashboard and you're like, oh, mayday, mayday. Right? So I know you know my mindset. I don't believe in diseases. I believe in deficiencies. Diseases are labels.
Well, it's at dis-ease. And so that's one of the things I wanted to talk about is the dis-ease can come from a number of sources, obviously, but I wanted to go to the thinking point, in our minds here. Our minds have a lot to do with how healthy we are. Would that be correct? Darn
Yes.
it.
Power of the mind, huge, you know?
Yes.
Yep. So if you're being told negative, 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 you have this disease, you have that disease, and then that negatively affects the structure and the function of all of the different parts of the organisms in your body, that is due to the immediate, external injuries that you're already getting. We're constantly being bombarded by free radicals. Free radicals is, what attacks our cells, but you can get rid of those free radicals. You have to have those free radicals, just like the car has exhaust. That's like
Mhm.
us.
Mhm.
I know I sound like a broken record when I say we're like a car, but we really are like a car.
Well, yes, and we want to take care of our cars. I mean, I just said that to my son the other day. It's like, if you don't take care of your vehicle, then the vehicle will not take care of you.
Yeah.
It's going to break down on you. It does need the oil change. It needs a clean air filter so it can breathe well. It needs air in the tires, these kinds of things. And when you don't, or you neglect that car, or in this case, our bodies, well, yeah, it's going to break down on us. So there's probably healthy routines that you might suggest for the viewers of what they should do. Well, let's just kind of back up a second. Okay, the first thing is if they feel that number one, or they've been diagnosed with a chronic disease, they can come to you and you can help solve that situation and get them off of maybe the pharmaceutical type of drugs.
Yes.
And so, yes, that's the first thing. They can come to you, and then you can
Yep.
tell us about that. You do testing, and then you're going to come up with a formulation for their specific needs.
That's exactly right. We're on the side of prevention and reversing. So if someone presents with us with insomnia or erectile dysfunction or osteoporosis or fibromyalgia, we start going and looking at the different systems of the body and putting them on a protocol. And that starts with testing, looking at the endocrine system, neurological function, mitochondrial function, and then, of course, all the vitamins and minerals and enzymes and fatty acids that support your whole entire body. And then we review lifestyle, diet, stress mechanisms, exercise habits, as well as wellness goals, because people do have goals for themselves.
Hmm.
Sometimes they're not always realistic. So it's really good to teach people baby steps. And then expectations and the level of commitment is huge for me too, because I want people to, thoughtfully make the decisions in achieving their goals and intentionally making the decisions in making these goals. And that's why I talk the way I talk, because everyone's biochemically unique. And just because someone loses 40 pounds in a month doesn't mean the other person will lose 40 pounds in a month, right? It's
Right.
different people, different mechanics. And I've seen people get their goals within a year, 3 months, 6 months, and then some people within 60 days. So,
And
but
it's all based on metabolism, correct?
yeah, metabolism, insulin is
Right.
a huge part of it. So yeah, I do look for insulin resistance. I look for ghrelin and leptin markers. These are all hormones that control satiation. It tells you when you're full. Women are notorious for being leptin resistant. So just adding a vitamin D3 supplement with K2 into their diet will help women lose weight better. Or adding a natural estrogen blocker, zinc, and aroma DIMM, a DIMM complex, which are antioxidants and amino acids that get rid of estrogen in the body. Estrogen equals weight gain and
Okay.
fat in men
Now,
and in women. We don't
I,
want that.
I wanted to ask you about that because that's one of the things that I've been taking as well that you recommended was the
Hmm.
aroma dim. Um,
So you've been
and
taking it every day?
not as consistently as I can. I'm almost out, so I got to come down to get more.
Okay. Yep.
That's what I got to do. But I have taken almost consistently every day, and I don't know much about it, but I remember hearing, okay, it's something about an old herb that was used in what, Asia or something like this is the DIMM. That's what it is. Maybe you can explain that to us.
Well, DIM is called diindolylmethane. So
Okay.
that is an amino acid.
Amino acid.
Yeah. So it's an estro halter, an estrogen blocker, or in medical terms, it's called an aromatase inhibitor. So what that does is it just blocks the conversion of bad estrogens into becoming toxic in your body. So you have testosterone that converts into estrogen. Somebody might be overly exercising and they produce lots of testosterone. And then the body will convert that testosterone into estrogen, and it converts it into a bad estrogen that the body doesn't need, and it starts to store it. So if your body doesn't have enough of this DIM for short, right? DIM, you know, one wants to say diindol
Yeah.
ethylmethane, right? It was like, oh.
Right. Now, so we got a question here, and it relates directly to what you're talking about. So men produce estrogen too?
Yes. And believe it or not, fellas, your libido comes from estrogen. Okay.
Oh.
Testosterone converting into estrogen in the brain. How
Well,
about
there you
that?
go, man.
So
Gentlemen, how do you feel about that now?
It's this female hormone that gets you guys roaring, you know? And in women, it's the opposite. It's estrogen converting into testosterone neurologically. So a little bit of testosterone in women will have your female swinging off the chandeliers. Who doesn't want a woman swinging off the
I'm thinking most
chandeliers?
men would probably want to have that. Yeah, exactly. They want somebody fun.
Oh, hi, Yvonne.
So yeah, we want to thank everybody that's coming on in. Yvonne, yes, welcome. Randy, we appreciate that comment. Shirley is saying just never give up on hope. You know, miracles do happen. And we want to remember Shirley in our prayers too as well. I've known Shirley for quite a while. She has quite a story. Someday soon we'll get her on the show, but you know, she's gone through a lot of personal loss. She's lost her son just most recently, and so she's been going through a really difficult time with that. But I wanted to mention to the viewers now, if you have questions, we are taking your questions tonight. So go ahead, put a question into the comments and let us know. We will be addressing those as well.
I see Randy. Randy said he didn't know that men produce estrogen, and this is great because you don't want to you fear this hormone. It's considered, you know, to be a female hormone, but yeah, estrogen plays a role, like I said, in sexual function in men, and it also protects the heart. So without enough estrogen, cardiovascular function starts to diminish, and there's lots of studies out there that link estrogen to dementia and Alzheimer's. Modulates sperm genesis as well.
Awesome. I'm learning, and that's why I love these shows too. And I just love being around you because I get to learn so much. And, you know, I mean, I have a medical background from the standpoint of providing products to hospitals and nursing homes in a former career. And I learned a lot because I was dealing with medical records. And so I learned terms. I had to learn what the terms were. And so that helped me. But boy, I tell you, I'm just learning so much, and that's why we do this show, everyone, is that we're doing this show to educate you, to let you know that there are alternatives to big pharma, and that's what this is all about. That's what the LWN Foundation is all about, is empowering you to get healthy mind, body, and spirit. And under the guidance of Dr. Jenny, that's what we do here every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Now, I'm going to ask again, please go share this video out. Let everybody know that you possibly can. The groups that you belong to, share it on out to them. We'll address the questions as best that we possibly can. And then if we can't get to them this time, we will certainly take note of them, and we'll try and get back and make a response to you as well. And we appreciate that. I want to talk, I guess, next about, we hear all this talk on this vaccine, and I apologize, folks. I thought that I had muted my notifications, but clearly not. So moving forward, I want to talk about the vaccines because we're hearing all this stuff. I know that Bill Gates, Melinda Gates, they're getting named. They're talking about how they can benefit, I guess, from vaccines and wanting everybody to have them. And so we need your input on this concept of the vaccine for COVID-19. Um, I know that personally, I mean, you have to have vaccines like for the kids, or you don't even get let into school. Back right to this day, you can't get into
Mhm.
school without vaccines. How do you feel about this new COVID-19 vaccine? And is this a good thing, a bad thing, or should we be concerned about this?
I think we're rushing into it, and there's no way you're not going to use. For me, it's like you're not going to guinea pig me into taking a vaccine that has not had years and years of testing. So, I mean, so this virus just came out, right? And now they want to vaccinate everybody with a vaccine that hasn't been tested, that
Right.
hasn't been proven or has any clinical efficacy behind it to support why we're taking it. No. And then it's, to me, it's just another way to try to keep, track of people or even capture people's genetics. And Bill Gates is huge on capturing genetics, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
seeing how all of this works. But this type of vaccine, I mean, we've had we've had the SARS virus around. COVID-19 is very similar to that. And if you look at the stats at the CDC, you can go straight to the website. I mean, less than 1% of our population has passed away from it. I mean, they made a big, huge deal about it. But I personally think Bill Gates has an agenda behind,
Mhm.
his organization. And I mean, he's always been wanting to rule the world, right? I mean, you can watch his TED Talks all over
Pinky in
YouTube.
the
And
brain.
yeah,
I want to
always.
rule the world. Because I have kids, right, folks? All right, you've seen Pinky in
Right.
the Brain, right? So,
But we have natural vaccines. Vitamin D
right,
is a natural vaccine. Why are we going to synthetically inoculate people with
yes,
something that hasn't been clinically supported? So
and
no,
it's a
I'm not for it at all.
now.
I'm very suspicious,
I'm going to go to
about the
Christine.
whole thing.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you there.
Mhm.
We are going to go to Christine's question. I did see that, Christine. We're going to get to you in just a moment. Um, I don't know if everybody's aware or not. It's the first time really that I've taken time to read a House bill. I mean, I've read parts of some, but I started reading through the House bill. There's a new HR 6666, as a matter of fact, and it's all about the ability to start testing and going into people's homes and getting information and taking saliva and getting DNA, like Dr. Jenny was just talking about here in the state of Florida.
Right.
Or no, I mean, yeah, that's a government thing. They're trying to push this through. Now we're hoping, I would think that that would not be, well, that it would be. I'm thinking
Right.
two things, and maybe you can address that. We will get to you right here, your questions, folks, in a minute. I'm wondering two things about that. Well, first of all, I think it's an invasion of privacy is the first thing I think of when they can start going into your home to get information, particularly if you've already been diagnosed with, the virus. Now that gives them the right to go in there and collect more information about you. But what about, because I've got the medical records background, how does that impact confidentiality? That these individual companies can start going into your home. I'm feeling like that breaches confidentiality of your medical records.
Uh,
A good question.
Yes, a very good question, because I have to abide by HIPAA as well. It does. You are giving, and a lot of people just keep up with the Joneses. Is that the saying, right? They just follow, and they're being scared into thinking that they need something like this
Hmm.
to be vaccinated. But I mean, you can go to the Mayo Clinic vaccine research group, and there's this doctor there, Dr. Poland. I mean, and to bring a vaccine into market needs at least 7 to 10 years of studying. So
Yeah.
that's around $1 billion. I tried to bring a couple drugs to market, and then I couldn't do it because I didn't have $1 billion to bring something to market. I mean,
Wow.
the whole process is ridiculous. I mean, you're talking
Yeah.
lots and lots of money. But yeah,
And,
you're invading privacy. I mean,
and
it seems to me like we're just experimenting on our society,
mm-hmm,
right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And, to some degree, you know, I want to personally be a little bit careful because I know that there's a lot of there's a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Monitoring,
Hmm.
particularly if it has anything to do with conspiracy or anything like that. It's over. And I might have just messed myself by even saying that word. Because I don't want to, because it's important to get our message out there. And right now we are focusing through the Facebook and through the YouTube. And we just want people to be informed. And these opinions that I have, honestly, folks, are my opinion. I am not a medical doctor. I am just a regular person. Dr. Jenny is a doctor. And so when she gives you advice, she's got her experience, years and years of research behind it. Now let's go to Christina. Thank you, Christina.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
What would you suggest to a smoker other than quitting, which is the goal? Okay, see, here's a perfect example of someone's bad habits, right? So
Hmm.
how do you, because smoking is bad, number one, Christina. So I'm always going to recommend that you stop. But it's not as easy. And like I said, everybody's different. I've known people that were able to take a pack of cigarettes, put it in the garbage, and they never picked it up again, right? But I've known people where they have to switch to a nicotine gum, or they have to go with a patch, and they come into my pharmacies to get those prescriptions. But that's, you're still polluting your body with that. So what does smoking deplete you of? What does it steal? What does it rob from your body? How does it mess up your mechanics? So it messes with your oxygen supply, messes with your cells, messes with your lungs. So then if you're a smoker, start loading up on CoQ10, start loading up on N-acetylcysteine, on glutathione. So either injections or capsules. Injections are always the best, but now you have a bad habit and you're taking a functional route, meaning evidence-based route that shows how to prevent the adverse reactions from your smoking. And what is happening when people are starting to live like that by taking supplements to prevent the adverse reactions from smoking is they start craving less of the nicotine, because what the body was actually looking for was a mechanism in the brain that gives them a reward, right? So now you're able to reward your body with B12 shots or CoQ10 or glutathione. And these are all things that help your lungs, vitamin D. So I would recommend weekly injections to start with of vitamin D3, 50,000 IUs, and 5 milligrams of B12 every single week, an injection, intramuscular injection. I can, ship you vials, or you can go into a facility that offers these injections. A lot of clinics offer this, and most often I'm the one that's making them anyways, the medications for them to stock in their facility. So,
Hmm.
but taking baby steps, and even CBD oil, vaping, switching to something, because a lot of smokers have told me, it's the oral fixation.
Hmm. Hmm. And it
So,
becomes habit. Yeah. Yeah.
and it's just
Absolutely.
habit, right?
Yeah.
I had
Mm.
an ex, yeah. I've known lots of smokers, and I've been able to help them stop smoking within a 30-day period without going to a patch, without going to gum, and switching to a CBD vape. And even something that even resembles a cigarette, but it's a cartridge, and then you're vaping this oil of CBD. So now they're getting that oil fixation, and the CBD is going in there. It's an antioxidant. It helps regenerate cells. It helps regenerate the tissues in your lungs, right?
Yes.
So CBD, vitamin D3, and glutathione injections right before bed helps just to repair the damage. And the lungs are so resilient. If there is one of the most resilient parts of your body is the lungs. I mean, it really can make a full recovery. If you stop, you can repair and revive the quality of your lungs
That's an
before you,
excellent
yeah.
point. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's an excellent, excellent example of how to prevent a chronic disease, which would be lung disease, which will kill you at some point, obviously, because you're not going to be able to breathe. So thank you very much for that. I
Mhm.
appreciate that, Christina. And she says, yeah, that it makes sense to her. She craved some cigarettes when she was pregnant. I don't know why. Maybe you know why she was craving, but
That's deficiency. That's that reward mechanism neurologically again. What her body's really craving is nourishment, neurological nourishment, and the nicotine. Because I, you're gonna trip when I tell you this. We do have nicotine receptors, right? So it's nicotinic receptors. Nicotine's found in tomatoes. So in small amounts, nicotine is something that our body needs. A lot of people crave tomatoes, right? But
mhm,
when it's overly concentrated in a cigarette, and that's when it becomes so toxic because now it's, more is not better, right? So you need a small amount, but feed your body reward system by giving it a different type of high with B12 shots, with vitamin D or CBD, something that's not going to destroy your cells, but something that nourishes your cells
excellent,
and your
excellent
body.
point.
But we do
Now,
have nicotine receptors.
yes. Now, do you want to pick one of these questions here? You're seeing them on your screen, and
I'm seeing it. Christina
yeah.
loves tomatoes. She's going to start eating more tomatoes. Love it. I do. I crave tomatoes, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's a good thing I don't smoke because I know what's in it, and it's so great because
Right,
you have all
right.
of those antioxidants in there as well. But yeah, eat more tomatoes, but load up on your B complex and your vitamin D, and give Stephen a call. We'll send you a
Yeah,
vape, a
yeah.
CBD vape to start. I might even have some samples in my store to ship out to you
Awesome.
where you can
See,
try. Yep.
yeah, beautiful. So that's an opportunity to at least maybe try it out, see how that works for you, and substitute a bad habit. And that's what we were trying to really get to tonight, is to come up with alternative answers for you, um, for maybe like Dr. Jenny said, to get rid of some of these bad habits that we might have. We might have them, but this is where a good healthy routine of starting to do the right things for
Hmm.
ourselves is going to make a big difference. Absolutely. Um, so we talked a little bit about thinking. I think that thinking is a big part of it too, because some of us might say, "Oh, I don't really need to do that." "Oh, I exercise and I eat well and things like that." But wouldn't the answer really be to do a check on your, through either a uh, or blood draw, or a swab? It can be simple as sticking a swab in your mouth and then finding out really what your body does in fact need.
Yep. And it's done through saliva. We can do it through urine. We can do it through a finger prick, or we can do it through a blood draw. So all, are the same. My favorite for hormones is saliva testing. My favorite for nutritional testing is urine. It's a 24-hour urine. People collect bags of it, and then we ship it out to be analyzed. And within a 2-week period, we have pages and pages of analytics of the individual where we know exactly how much vitamin D they need, what their daily recommended dosing is going to be, and then how to play catch up, right?
Right.
Because some people they're running this race to try to, stay as healthy as possible, and health is wealth,
Yes, health
right?
is wealth. And I want you to speak to the not so much, because I learned my lesson last time, not about organic, it's about natural and not having chemicals in the products that you are compounding there at AgeVital. Um, a huge difference between just going down to the store, or say going to a GNC and buying stuff that is right off the shelf. Um, let's go back there. I know we talked about it before, but can you give us some advice with respect to what we should be looking at on these things if we're just going to go down to the store, or maybe buy it from a Walgreens or something like that, to be careful about what we're doing? And of course, I'm going to recommend, if you're looking for good high quality products, then Dr. Jenny's products is the answer. I think that they are the best, and this is why the doctors come to her to educate. And then so she's got this experience of, you know the technical end of it, of being able to put stuff together for your specific needs. So can you tell us
I
about
just,
this? I was talking about the things that we should look out for by just getting over the counter stuff
mhm.
versus the products that you're compounding?
Yeah, 90% of nutraceuticals are not regulated, and that's horrifying. That means you're going into a grocery store and they have supplements in there that are not being regulated.
Hmm.
So what is in the bottle is not necessarily what it says on the label. And I've tested hundreds of supplements and worked for labs that did this as well. And I was shocked. Centrum Silver is one of the worst supplements out there. I recommend to people, don't take it. You look for supplements that say CGMP. So GMP, it's a certification that says you have good manufacturing process that's regulated. So what is on the label is exactly what's on the label because they're being regulated by the FDA. You want an FDA regulated facility that makes your supplements. Well, currently, there's no regulations on that. I mean, anybody can make a vitamin supplement and order, junk with heavy metals and parasites and fillers and dyes and preservatives and synthetic supplements that are in the capsules. And if you don't know the difference between a synthetic vitamin and a bioavailable natural vitamin, I mean, it's dangerous. There is a difference between the cyanide B12 and the methyl B12, right? One has cyanide in it. It's even in its name, cyanocobalamin. And it's toxin. And someone that is trying to get rid of inflammation, getting an injection of cyanide with their B12 is not healthy. So you want to make sure that you're looking for good manufacturing process supplements. And all of my supplements in my facility are CGMP. They're all regulated, and I'm regulated by the FDA and also by the Board of Pharmacy. So two different, boards looking oversight.
Yes, and I wanted to go to that because you had told me when I first met you is that a lot of the major, well, you can explain it because I can't certainly. I mean, you're supplying the people that are supplying the patients in a lot of cases, isn't that correct?
Yes, I have 110,000 doctors currently in my network. So these doctors send their prescriptions to me. They consult with me on dosing, on creating new medications that are going to be more functional, how to get somebody off of the medication that they're on if someone's on Xanax or Prozac or an opiate, right? These are all Band-Aids for boo-boos, but people find themselves addicted to them. So they go to a chemist or a PharmD, a pharmacist, to figure out, okay, what is the best route? How can we slowly start weaning somebody off while also giving them the solutions to be out of pain, to be able to sleep, to get rid of inflammation. I saw a really good question by, was it Randy? Tomatoes aggravate joint pain, and I love tomatoes, is what he was saying. Yeah, that is, it can, too much. Like I said, too much of something is bad, right? More is not always better, right?
Right.
That goes with anything. Water can kill you too. There are thousands of cases of people overly hydrating themselves every single year and they drown. So yeah, if you eat too many tomatoes, tomatoes have a toxin called solanine, and solanine is believed to contribute to inflammation and swelling. So too much of it is bad. So if you're a tomato lover, how do you live functionally with that habit, right? So here we go. So he's not a cigarette smoker, but he's a tomato eater. So load up on essential fatty acids. Take a supplement that's going to counter-modulate that solanine, that enzyme that's in that tomato that causes inflammation. So you see how everything works together. So take an omega-369 supplement. I saw that. Is it Ruben? Yep, Ruben Lowing.
Yes, Ruben.
Very good. I'm glad I saw that.
Yes, there's a lot of great comments in here. I'll pop this one up. You can read it and answer this part. And I think you just addressed this.
Yana, be good. Ooh. So FDA registered with a number definitely is safe. Wrote right. Yes. So you want to make sure you're using an FDA registered facility. And if you have any questions about a supplement, because there are different levels of, manufacturing, you can be doubly accredited or singly accredited FDA registered facility for CGMP processes. Because there are some companies that put not 80% and then the 20%, there's still a toxin in there. you know? And that really irritates me. It's like, why not just go and put everything 100% bioavailable, 100% unadulterated? So I see some estrogen or some soy, snuck in there as an ingredient, or I'm just like, why did they
It's
do that?
okay.
Why are they,
Tell
right?
us about soy. Soy's not good. I
Too
mean,
much, yep, too much soy. If you're
too much
putting it in
soy.
everything, it's going to convert into estrogen. And as
Oh,
we discussed, too much estrogen is bad. A little amount of estrogen helps with sperm genesis, helps with cardiovascular, so protecting the heart, helps with
that's
prevention of Alzheimer's, but everything has soy in it. Our cereals, our sauces, our all of these different supplements. I was teaching my children that when we're going through and looking at all these supplements, what's that say? Soy. What's that say? Soy. Or high fructose corn syrup or aspartame. There is just they always use the as a filler, as a binder, as an ingredient, and there's no need to put it in there.
hmm hmm
Yep, Sandy Jew, that's right. Balance is key. It's called homeostasis. Gregory Kane is asking me to
Yes.
marry him again.
You
I told him he
got
was a
the
character.
yeah, you got some admirers out there, obviously. I could see why he would want to marry you, though. I mean, gosh, you're pretty smart, a doctor. I mean, who wouldn't want to have a doctor as their wife, right?
Usually, don't men usually not like intelligent women? They want a woman they
Um,
can control, right?
I suppose so.
Yeah,
I like intelligence personally. I do.
that's me. I'm a
You know.
sapiosexual. That's what it's called. Sapiosexuals, right?
So
You're a
yes,
sapiosexual like me. You're
yeah.
you're you're attracted to intelligence. That's me. The first thing I like about an individual is their mind. I don't see
Well,
faces. I don't see color. I'm just like, wow, what a beautiful person you are. I see souls.
um, so yeah, that threw me off. No, I actually, yes, I do like intelligence, and I like to surround myself with people that are smarter than me. That really helps me a lot because then I get to learn. That's the
Hmm.
whole concept behind that. Now I see Ruben's. Oh, Ruben's. He said no, something wrong, something. I love Ruben. He's a great guy. Um,
Yeah, and I put soy sauce. Yeah, I eat soy, but I live
yeah.
functionally. So I'm always taking my detoxers right before I go to bed. So
Well, Randy.
if I'm because I live off of sushi. Who's
Yes,
who's
it's
the
Randy.
sushi lover? Randy, yes.
Randy's a sushi lover. I love sushi too. I mean,
I think my son and we must eat sushi like 3 or 4 times a week. I have to
okay.
admit that is like my it is. If I was stranded on an island, I would have to. If you only got to pick one type of food to live off of, it would be sushi. But yes, I eat a lot of soy sauce. I really do. But I make sure it's organic because there is a difference, right? They're making
Yeah.
making non-GMO soy, which is more toxic.
Now,
So
is it?
organic soy sauce is not going to be the same. So I mean, they're putting chemicals like soy lecithin in there, which are like synthetic versions of it. But I still take my estrogen blocker before I go to bed to make sure that if I did have any, because I notice if I don't take it, I'll get a little bit of bloat, and I'm like, oh, I must have got a little bit of estrogen this week.
Right, right.
Who wants to feel bloated when I can prevent it? Oh, I miss our sushi
Yeah.
dates too, Miss Yvonne.
And the ginger, absolutely. Now, isn't that really, I was just going to say, isn't that an American thing with the ginger and the soy sauces? I mean, I don't think that they do that in Asia necessarily, that was adapted over here kind of thing. I don't know.
Oh,
But
I don't know. That's an
that's what I'd
interesting
heard.
question.
That's what
Really?
I'd heard.
I would think it's
Did they?
something they do.
Okay, viewers, tell us, help us out here. Is this something that
Yeah.
started in America, or is this the way it's supposed to be? Okay, I do love, and you had talked earlier too. That's another preventative measure as well. You talked about eating fish and how important those omega-3 were with respect to having a good diet, and so that is part of preventative maintenance as well. Is this good diet?
Yeah, it's all diet, diet, diet.
Yes.
Diet.
Randy loves tuna and salmon. I know that he does. Um, I love sushi. I just have to say that, folks. I enjoy it, and I think it's good and healthy for us too, as well. Um, okay, so George
Yeah.
has it
Someone asked me about
apparently.
MSG. I saw one that said
Yes,
MSG.
Ruben. Okay, so Ruben, yeah.
Yeah, sushi does not have MSG in it. MSG is an additive, but we do have MSG receptors again, but it's when it's overly concentrated. I mean, now they make it as like a spice to cook with, and our body's not meant to have that much MSG. It's just a salt. It's a conversion in the salt in our chemical pathways.
Now,
So
salt.
no, but natural sushi just means rice with a treat in Japanese. So what kind of treat will you have in your rice? So when I get my sushi, I always use the brown rice, and it's just so much healthier because you don't want bleached rice, right? And you don't
Right.
want red ginger. You want the white ginger. The red is food coloring. That's bad for you. But I think a lot of Chinese restaurants, Ruben, use MSG in their cooking. So you have to be cautious because, yeah, too much of it can lead to inflammation and swelling and joint pain. And so, yeah, too much MSG is definitely bad for you. But, we do have receptors for it.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the comments. I was looking at some other things here. I'm trying my best to moderate this and pop in questions
Mhm.
and stuff. Um, so Ruben is saying compensated for my dyslexia.
Oh, I know what he was talking about, though. I knew
Okay.
I knew it was a typo.
Okay.
I think
Oh
he
yeah,
wrote,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, we all got that, Ruben. It's all good.
Yeah, but too much MSG is bad for you. It has an interaction in your taste buds, activates those glutamate receptors in your taste buds, and it transmits a signal to distinct regions in the brain, causing characteristics in the taste buds. So you don't want to overexcite those taste buds.
I'm going to pop
But
this up quickly. Randy's going to
mhm.
alert us all if you happen to be in an area where there's a public supermarket. Apparently Wednesdays he's got $5 sushis, and so that's a pretty good deal. So for everybody that likes sushi and likes fish, there's a great deal apparently at Publix. Now Yana, she's got a question here for us as well.
Let's see, what did it say? Let's review on HGH supplementation homeopathically. I am a big believer of HGH. If it wasn't for HGH, I think recovering after having 4 children wouldn't have been as easy. But it human growth hormone, what it stands for, is just a 191 amino acid peptide chain. And amino acids are the building blocks to everything. Now, you can produce your own HGH by working out, but when I'm checking HGH levels via blood, some people are so low they need to take injections, or I give them the precursor peptides before that, like the semarelin acetate or the GHRP6, the GHRP4, the GHRP2. These are all chemicals right before the conversion neurologically, but human growth hormone is what you produce when you're sleeping. And if you don't produce enough of that, your body's not repairing and regenerating. And it is just so essential for muscle growth and hair growth and collagen. A lot of people take it as an anti-aging supplement, but some people abuse it. Like a lot of athletes abuse it. And like I said, more is not better. So it's good to be medically supervised, look at your levels, and then be on a regimen that fits your physiology. So I can tell when someone's abusing HGH because their nose gets huge, their ears get gigantic, and their paws get big, and their head gets big. Everything grows. I mean, it's human growth hormone, but it's the
Mm-hmm.
hormone of repairing. It repairs your cells. It's fantastic for viral seasons and flu seasons because, boy, I mean, your immune system will be solid. Right now, that's probably my biggest seller is human growth hormone in my pharmacy. The people that know the benefits of human growth hormone, and I'm probably the cheapest anywhere. For a vial, you can get a vial for $250 to $350 depending on the size. And I've seen vials at Walgreens and at CVS for $1,500, $900, $2,000, and that's a month supply.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So it is a hormone that a lot of the rich will use just to stay strong and fit. But yeah, I'm a big believer of human growth hormone. And if you can't afford the actual vials, the injections, or subcutaneous little insulin syringes that you take just a few times a week, not every day. You take it 3 to 4 days on, and you take 2 to 3 days off. I usually take it 4 days a week, and a very tiny dose. My vial lasts for 2 months because I'm almost 40. So I don't need it, but my levels are always low after I have a baby, and I retest, and then my bones, my joints, everything feels stronger. I'm a big believer of HGH. So yeah, Christina, that was that Christina that asked that question? Who asked the HGH question?
No, that was
Yana.
gonna be Yana. Thank you,
Yeah.
Yana. That was an exceptional question. I'm going to take one more question here.
And amino acids convert into human growth hormone eventually. So taking like a free form amino acid supplement, like I have a supplement called Amino Pro. There's 21 amino acids in there that eventually will convert into growth hormone. So, but I would recommend testing. It's a $100 testing kit, and you get the results in 7 days, and we can see where you are. And then based on your results, we can design the protocol for you. Is it injections? Is it the precursors? Or is it the amino acids that you would take?
So I was thinking we would take George, your admirer.
Standard
Our,
process supplements. What's your thoughts? Standard process, I would have to look at the FDA website to see if they're a CGMP company. But I can get back to you, George, if you want to leave your email on there. Or
just
send me an email.
Yeah, send a private message would be better than putting it out there in public.
Yeah,
Although
I get a lot of
everything's
spam.
public, it seems like anymore, right? Nothing's private on the internet, it seems. So
George, he had another question. How can I order
okay,
HGH
sure.
from you? Depending on where you're located, are you in Sarasota?
Yes.
Are you in a different state? If you're in a different state, we can do a telemedicine consult. Once we do the consult, I'll send you a kit, unless you have results already. If you have results that are within 6 months, old, anything over a year I can't use. You have to retest every single year. Once I have those results, then we can go ahead and ship you your vial if you need it, with your dosing, your recommendations based on your deficiencies.
There you go. So yes, Dr. Jenny does have a telemedicine line, and that's a really awesome thing. And soon we're going to get our website straightened out. So we've got that information for you too. You can go to her website as well. I'm just going to pop this up now.
Oh, thank you, Randy.
Right.
Randy
Somewhere here.
says you will never look a day over 29, Dr. Jenny.
Ah,
You're
there
a
you go.
sweetheart.
So yes,
I'm a big old kid.
So there we go. AgeVital. That is, you can go to www.agevital.com as well. Why don't you just tell them quickly? They can get a hold of you a couple different ways. Why don't you just tell us, Dr. Jenny, how people can reach out to you if they are looking to try and improve their health and prevent coming down with these chronic illnesses?
Jenny at agevital.com. That's my email. So Jenny, Jenny, at agevital.com. You see the logo up there on the right-hand corner. You can give us a call toll free, 888-388-7237, and then or local 941-388-0800. Or you can contact the LWN Foundation. You can find me, or you can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook at Dr. Jenny Wilkins on Facebook and on Instagram. And I think the LWN Foundation, what is that, at the LWN?
We've got at the LWN, yes, on Facebook, where I've got some work to do on resurrecting the account with Instagram, so I haven't been posting there, but we are on Twitter as well. We're on YouTube. As a matter of fact, this is streaming right now live to Facebook, multiple pages, as well as our website, which will take you straight to the YouTube, the LWN Foundation on YouTube. We'd love for you to go up there and subscribe and tap that bell so that you can be notified when we have some new videos. Dr. Jenny has a YouTube channel up there as well. We're trying to keep you informed. We want you to join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Ask Dr. Jenny. Well, every week we're going to have a different theme. We really appreciate you taking time to share this wisdom with us, Dr. Jenny, this evening. We really
Oh,
do.
thank you. We've run out of time so fast.
It
There's
goes
so,
fast. If people
mhm.
like it, maybe we need to push it a little bit further. I don't know. We're trying to be here for everybody, but your time is valuable to us as well as yourself. We don't want to use up any more of your time than is necessary. We appreciate you, though, very much. If in the meantime you've got questions or concerns, reach out to Dr. Jenny, reach out to myself as well. You can reach me and email at admin, ADMIN, at lwnfoundation.org. We have a website, www.lwnfoundation.org. Take a look there. We've got some blogs up there. We've got information. We've got emergency contact information. We're working on making it bigger, better, and stronger every day. We're going to soon have this download center so you can download some information for free. It doesn't cost you anything.
Mhm.
Sign up to our newsletter. We'll be sending you information. We promise not to email you to death like some others do. I unsubscribed from recently because it's like, please, not every day and not twice or three times a day. That's not us. We won't do that to you. But that way you can be updated with important information that does come out and the events too as well. So I'll just do a quick announcements, and then I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Jenny to close the show for us. Join me tomorrow morning. It is Thankful Thursday tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and join the Sunrise Daybreakers tribe. And we'll be welcoming in a brand new day and making a connection to nature, watching the sun come up, listening to the birds singing, and making a connection to community. And that community, that's you. We
Yes,
appreciate you.
yes,
Um,
yes.
and then Friday, same thing. Love Friday. Who doesn't love Fridays? We'll be back Friday at 6:30 a.m. And then in the evening, there might be a problem with Edgar. I don't know. I got a couple messages coming from him. I got to talk to him, but we're supposed to be going with Edgar Hansen, TV reality star from Deadliest Catch on Discovery. Um, on Friday at 7 p.m. on the Town Hall Get to Know. Hopefully, everything will go well. I want to remind you last week we had Christine Olson, TIF's initiative that's about registering emergency contact numbers with your license. Please do that if you
Mm.
haven't already. That way, if anything happens, you can get somebody that you love will be contacted immediately. And so that way they'll know and they can be there for you if something bad happens. Okay. Um, that's all I've got for the announcements part. All right, Dr. Jenny, why don't you just go ahead and
Oh, I'm so happy
take
for you
us out
guys.
here?
Yeah, you guys tuning in. Let's give you a little challenge because people are acting mean. I see so much negativity on social media, and that's not healthy. And I want you guys to be healthy. So my challenge for you, anybody who's tuning in, is to be warm and be kind to strangers, to somebody that's homeless on the street, because being kind, being nice, releases a hormone called oxytocin. And oxytocin is a hormone that is very nurturing, and it strengthens your heart physically and it strengthens your spirit and emotions. So there is something to walk away with, like even being nice is good for your health. So fake it till you make it, because even if you're faking being nice, just the energy from that other person receiving is going to release that oxytocin in you. So be kind to one another and be patient with one another. Open the doors for a little old lady, a stranger, a pregnant woman. Compliment somebody on the street that's walking by you that has a child. If you see a mom with 4 or 5 kids, be like, oh my gosh, compliment her kids and compliment her. Good work, good job. These tiny little things make a difference in people's lives. I mean, I can't help but go places. I know when I'm out with, friends or on dates with friends, I have to, acknowledge another spirit that is in my path. If I'm making eye contact with them, I smile and I say, how are you doing? Wow, what a gorgeous dress, or what beautiful eyes, or what gorgeous hair you have. And to the men too, aren't you handsome? And look at your tie, and have a great day. Are you staying healthy? Are you staying safe? those words, I mean, you're sharing an amazing energy now, and it's being spread forward.
That's so awesome. Kindness goes a long ways, and I didn't know that that's what it triggered was that oxytocin.
Oxytocin is amazing.
Beautiful, beautiful, and it just makes us feel good. And if we can feel good, then we're going to be just like Dr. Jenny said, that much healthier. So that's awesome. Thank you very much. Remember to join us next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ask Dr. Jenny. I'm trying to recall what we're talking about, but we'll be talking about health. We're going to be talking about your health and getting you healthier. That's what we're going to be talking about. All right. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. We greatly appreciate it. Bless you. Have a wonderful evening. And thank you for joining us. Remember to tell all your friends, and we will see you soon. Take care.
Bye.
Goodbye for now.
Bye.